Welcome everybody back to Boost in Motion, guys, and today we're going to talk about the pros and cons of putting your car on air suspension. Before I get into the video, guys, screw it, let's just get right into it. So it's winter time right now, 2019, and in the car world, everybody want to kill a game next year. This is just how it is. So air suspension has been around forever. Now there's always going to be pros and cons from it. Now, before I get into the video, as a disclaimer, I have not owned air suspension myself, but I have a few friends who have air suspension, and I do my research and due diligence. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the pros, number one, because most of you guys would rather hear the pros and you're not going to make it to the end of the video. So for the people who want to just go buy it right now, just watch the pros. So some of the pros is you can make pretty much a concrete kisser. You can go as low as you can and have just a stylish look. Now, when you bring the car this low, there's different fitment styles, right? You can air the car out on stock wheels and have that tucked in look. You can have the look of when you air it out and you have the rim of the wheel just touch the fender, which is really sexy. That's really good fitment to me. And also some people who have it just that can sit straight, flat, and have it like almost zero camber look. It all has a different look on how you want to air out the car. Now, that's one of the pros. It's mainly aesthetics. Number two is comfort. Coming from stock suspension or coilovers, air suspension soaks up a lot of the bumps. So it gives you really a high quality ride, no matter the size of your wheels, because usually you're going to have 19 or 20 inch wheels with really skinny tire. So usually when you go to a more low profile tire or bigger wheels, you'll start feeling more of the road's imperfections and a harsher ride comfort. But with air suspension, you remove a lot of the feedback you'll get from the street that goes into the car, into the chassis of it. So second thing is actually comfort. Number three, you actually get, you still actually do get repeat. It's kind of funny, but you do gain some performance. Let me explain that. Well, most of the kits that are out now, they can be able to adjust the amount of air pressure per corner. So if you pretty much if your setup is set up good enough, you can actually increase the amount of handling over stock. Maybe even over coilovers. Reason being is you can just adjust the amount of pressure depending on the corner side and set it up that the car literally is shock and rebound could be a lot better. Now for another pro is adjustability. Here's why I'm going to say this. You can go as low as you want or you can go as high as you want. So for some people who have driveways or any kind of incline or decline where their car may scrape, because you know cars scrape, it's good to have the ability of raising your suspension up high and low. Especially some places you may have to drive off-road sometimes. You know, this is places with a lot of dirt and stuff like that, or grassy area. And it's good to just air the car up. Like my car on coilovers, I can't do that. I have to pretty much be a lawnmower. But you guys can air it up and just drive through the grass or any type of just off-roading. Not saying you should be off-roading your Q50 or your Infiniti at all, but at the end of the day, it's nice knowing that you can air up and lower the car as you please. It's one of the best things. Now, let's go to the cons. Number one, usually air suspension could be quite expensive. It got a lot cheaper over the last few years, but most good air suspension kits are going to be right around $3,000 to $5,000. This is with air management, shock struts, or whatever the case might be. And also you're gonna have to pay, a performance shop, unless you do it yourself, a couple $100 to $1,000 to install it. You also have apps and everything that's pretty cool that you add into it. So price is one of the cons. Compared to, let's say, a coilover system, you can get for like $1,000 from like MEGEN or BC Racing, whatever the case might be. So price is one of the bad things. Two, I would say more components. With a traditional coilover setup or stock suspension, you know what's wrong with the car. Like, it's like literally, hey, the ride isn't as good as it used to be. Oh, the strut went out. But it takes tens of thousands of miles for it to happen. The same thing with coilovers. But with air suspension, you have so much different moving components or components that could cause leaks. For instance, you have airlines. These airlines can puncture, not quite often, but they can puncture and cause a leak over time. Two, you have air fittings. They have to be sealed properly, because if anybody works in the automotive industry and you're on air tools, there will always be a leak somewhere. It happens when it's newer, but after a while, there's going to have to be maintenance. 3, there should be like a condensation or a air evaporated tank. Pretty much this tank is full of water, and every now and then you have to remove the amount of vapor out of it. Especially if you live in a cold climate, you have to drain this, like I would say like a catch can of any water or soot, anything that's in there, because in the winter it would freeze and you won't be able to air up your car. Literally, it's like a filter or a catch can. I forgot exactly what it is. So there are a lot more components. Another thing you notice with air suspension kits, they usually try to have 2 compressors. The reason why they do that is because efficiency. You can air up a lot quicker and air out. But also on top of that, if one fails, you still have one as a backing. So knowing that these air compressor kits can go out after a while, could happen. That's still another price margin you have to pay for it down the line if it does happen, depending on how long you keep the air kit. But majority of air kits are relatively reliable. And that kind of pushed me back to another one of the disadvantages is the sound. There are no quiet air system kits. The pumps are loud, they will make noise. Yes, people put sound deadening and everything to cover it depending on where you build it, but at the end of the day, it is loud. So coming from reliability to price, to the idea of how loud it could be just to have it air up every now and then, yes, it can be an annoyance. And moving forward, I would say placement. Now, most people put it in the trunk, right? But because you're installing it in a trunk, the Q50 and most Infinitis don't have the best amount of, I would say, space in the trunk. So knowing this is what happens. You have to build a trunk, you have to build a trunk, a false trunk, and you usually lose some space on how you want to put your groceries and everything. Because if you have a grocery getter, you gotta put groceries in the back, right? But depending on how you set up your trunk, you're gonna lose some trunk space, especially if you have a spare tire well. Some people on their G guys have spare tire wells, but Q50 guys don't. So we already have a shallow trunk, and now we're losing even more. And then if we do somehow have the spare tire, wow, we really don't have a trunk. That's literally, we basically have a coupe at that time. And for the coupe guys, it's already annoyance too. But at the end of the day, this is the idea of paying to play. So just putting that out there, those are some of the disadvantages I would really honestly say when it comes from price, accessibility, reliability of some of the components, and just more moving components. And just the idea that, would you guys ask me, would I still think the pros outweigh the cons? Well, if you build a proper kit and use the best, I would say best supplies and the kits out there that I've already built for you, I would say go with an air kit. Air kit's pretty good, pretty reliable. And if you're gonna get an air kit, don't get it. Don't be like some of these cats. Some of you guys are gonna watch right now and say, "Boost, don't talk about me like that." But some of you guys go out and get an air kit just for the season and then get rid of it. It's like, what was the point? You just want to look good for the summer. I know some of you guys do that. But if I was gonna get an air kit, I'm gonna get it for a few years. So it's an investment. If you're gonna get an air kit, I think it's an investment that you should make for the next few years that you know you're gonna get it for the car. Most people just get it for the clout, just for the short period of time and go on some nice wheels and just look good for the summer and get rid of the car in the winter, whatever the case may be. But if you're gonna keep this Infiniti, just make sure you look into good quality parts. Buy it the first time so you don't have to cry 2 times or cry later. I'm learning that myself. But otherwise than that, guys, if you think I missed anything, comment below. Tell me what you think. Tell me what your pros and cons of your air suspension kit. And, maybe I'm wrong about some of my pros and cons. But comment below. Hit the like button if you like this video. Also, hit the subscribe button with the bell notification. You can contact me at Boost Emotion on Facebook, Instagram, and also boostemotion@gmail.com. Otherwise than that, guys, I appreciate you guys for watching this video. You guys have an amazing morning, good afternoon, good night. Shoot, you have a good day, guys. Thank you.